This is the Finding Significance program where we are helping people advance into retirement, not just to relax or take it easy, but more importantly, to live a life of significance, because that is what we deeply crave. Sara is the person we've been talking about. Sara works at a bank. She's got a couple of years left. She's feeling worn down because of all the people she's now responsible for. She's taken a couple of pay increases and some new job titles. But it seems that more than just money has come the burdens of taking care of all these other people's problems. And it's just wearing her out. And then she goes home and it's okay, but she has a daughter she's concerned about who's still living at home in the basement, who has her own burdens, trying to get her life figured out. And it just seems to be a wearisome tale. And it seems like she's going to leave the workplace and just have more of these people she's got to lug around in her thoughts all day and all night long. Jim Riefenberger is our business chaplain. I'm chuckling, but we all know people like that, don't we? Who just seem to worry about so many others.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Sarah today and fulfillment. And I think this is kind of a fun story because I think Sarah is actually well on her way to living in fulfillment right now. So, this program doesn't take just a day or a week, but we're talking months later. She has actually just taken this part-time position at work, so it's reduced her workload to 22 hours a week. Um, so she had the courage to go in and to kind of negotiate that. Secondly, she does no longer have to lead people. So she's doing her best work at work. Because she did the financial plan and realized she's not going to be out of money. Then she did her true prosperity timeline. And now she's got a list of experiences she wants to have. So she's had a discussion with her husband about those. And then I've encouraged her to have a conversation with both kids about her life without guilt and what that looks like and what mom's going to do moving forward. And so as she's got that sort of backpack off her back, the weight of just that conversation, she's already moving towards these things, right? And now attempting to work out at a fitness center and just get working on health. And so lots of traction. And one of the things that we talked about with her was one of the six character traits that she picked from in the lottery. It was courage. And it was really the courage to have a conversation with her boss, with her kids without feeling guilty.
So you say courage, this is what she would like to have more of, right? Not that not
Yes,
not what she's
yes,
great at, but and if you think about it, the courage to talk to her boss and said, wait a minute, it's not working the way it is. Can you help me? The courage to talk to her husband, the courage to talk to her children. And you wouldn't think that it would take courage, but it really does. It really does to just suck it up and say, do you have a minute? I need to talk. And what is stopping you from saying that sentence? You don't have the courage.
yes. And then we were able to kind of coach through that. Like, what would that conversation look like? So it's a little bit like having a chance to run that through your mind so that you feel comfortable enough in a place to start.
Yeah,
Jeff, there's a quote by John Wayne that says, "Courage is when you're scared out of your mind, but you saddle up anyways." And I think that's what makes courage different from confidence. Confidence is just a progression, but courage is to start.
well, one of the things that I do with this particular map, I use it myself. That's why we created the map. Books you put on a shelf, maps you consult as you go on your journey. And there's a little picture of a tent and it's got these character attributes. As I look into my each tomorrow, I'll say, which one of these things do I need more of? And courage, many times, is one of them. I have to pick up the phone, which I don't really want to do, and call somebody because I need something and I need them to help me get that, and I don't want to do it. So what's the opposite of courage? I would say it's fear. And for me, and maybe like anybody else, I'm going to do that next week. I'll just do it after I'm done, cleaning the kitchen or something like that, right? Talk to me about how you helped her. What, any skills or tricks that you gave Sarah to have her get the courage to face those people?
To be honest with you, I think that the assessments pulled out the fact that she needed courage. That came from her, that she needed to move out of this stage of guilt. I think that's where it began was that she did it from within. I think I just nudged and guided the fact that the next step, without being scared, is to talk to her boss and have a conversation with her daughter and forge forward.
I've actually heard you have this conversation. It's very short. I've heard you say, I think you know what to do and who you need to talk about. Why don't you talk to them tomorrow about that right away when you get to work, and then call me afterwards. I'm really excited to see how it turns out. Click. You shove them out to the edge of the diving board and say, I know you can
Yeah.
do it. And then they do it, and they're so, just like a kid who faces their fears, they're so excited. I did it. It wasn't that hard. I feel great. They were more receptive than I thought. Yeah.
And I want to remind our listeners, Jeff, that you might be like Sarah, completely different, but that's why we want you to join Significance is because we want you to experience it and we want your story to help others. Your story should matter to many and you should make a huge difference in their lives by overcoming whatever it is that you're not to hit your mark. And that's why Jeff and I are going to do this until the good Lord calls us home because that's what God has us doing is significance
And to
matters.
be honest, we simply took these tools that we provide to each other and just said, hey, we're helping each other. Why wouldn't we help other people? Many of these tools we have developed because we need these tools ourselves, right? So it's your life. Everybody gets their life to live just the way they want. And I won't talk about this a lot, but of all the funerals I have done, and it's about 600, the most common emotion is not sorrow, it's regret. And we just don't want that for you. We want to help you figure out your next step, help you figure out what's stopping you from making that step, and then making the hurdle, just like that little kid jumping into the pool, springing out of the water with joy and delight. And that's the life that we want you to have.
I'm going to add one more tidbit about Sarah's life that I think we all should learn from. The minute she gets the courage to do this, you don't think that her marriage might be better, her husband might be happier, that she's happy, that you don't think that possibly her children needing that nudge to get their own confidence will change their life when she's gone. Has a generational effect on everything around her.
That's really good information because when we have a significant life, it bleeds over into other people we care about and gives them the same sort of courage to live significant lives on their own. And that really is a wonderful journey. That's all the time we have for this particular program. Until we talk again, I'm Jeff Gould.
And I'm Jim Riefenberger.
God bless.